So today I'll be interviewing my mom. The first question I asked her was what were some things that molded the way of the people in the 90s. So the interview was a little bit off, but you can tell which questions I asked her because I forgot to ask it to her out loud when I was interviewing her. But okay, so the first one was what were some events that molded the way of the people in the 90s? What were some trends back then in the 90s? That's the second question. Third question is who do you think was the most influential celebrity in athletics slash sports? And then the fourth question was who do you think was the most influential celebrity in politics? And then the fifth question was who was the most influential musical artist? Okay, now say it again.
So Rodney King was one of the first incidents where you were able to see police brutality being recorded. Like before then, you knew about it, but when that happened, it was just supposed to be a regular traffic stop. But that started like the riots in California. People was rioting everywhere. So you just, as a kid, it just like reshaped what you thought about the police. You knew that the police was, corrupt and crooked at, some point, but you never saw the corruption. And in California, that was the first time that it was recorded to that extent, where you could see it being done the way that they were doing it over just a simple traffic stop. But you knew it was about him being black.
Mhm.
So what triggered, across the country was just people outrage from like this to from Rodney King to George Floyd to what's his name, Trayvon Martin. All of those incidents started becoming highlighted, which brought like the technology for real. Because without the social media aspect, without you seeing it on the media, you would have never been privileged to see that. So that was like the start of a new wave. Why people started recording everything because of getting that exposure. So you got to think of what all of that entailed. They gave the media more coverage. They gave people progressing through wanting technology to progress so you can see more of those incidents, and then that gave birth to social media for real, of why social media became such a thing, because now we got access to seeing how corrupt they are, which was the mindset. So that brought power to the people for real. You know what I'm saying? So it spilled into music. It spilled over into documentaries. Like it just opened up a whole wave of look at me. Like we can see you now.
Mhm.
So all of those components opened up the door for a lot of stuff to be like evolve, like to start evolving. Because before then we knew about technology, but we didn't really, you know, it wasn't like bringing life to it. Like it wasn't that big. Like it wasn't that big. So people started pushing for it to become big, so that everything can now be seen for real. So now it's what you got today. Like you can literally stand there and record the police. You can literally stand and record whatever. You just gotta know it opened up the portal
Mhm.
to all of the things that came after.
Okay, on to the next. Uh, what were some like trends of back then? Like it could be like fashion trends. Uh, it could be any trend like dances, like
Well,
toys and
okay,
stuff.
what you ain't gonna be, you gonna be very surprised. Soldier Boy started a lot of trends. And when I say that, it's because when social media started popping, so let's say like Google became popular when? In I think 1996. So that's from 1991 where they were building all. Basically, the evolution of the from the 90's to the 2000's was all centered around technology growing and becoming the big mega, that it is now. Because in the 90's, Big Brother was big, like reality shows was
You
big.
gotta keep it in the 90s, though. You branching off to a little bit of stuff that's in the 2000s. Wait, yeah, this is a 90s interview. So you branching off
Well,
into a lot of stuff that's
I'm
into the
telling you
2000s.
what started a bunch of, like, what derived from the 90's. The 90's had, I can speak from my point of view for what I knew to be popping, which was hip hop. Like was the that was the main focus all the way up until now.
Yeah, because it's a lot of stuff like because the other three questions they kind of correspond with each other. Because I'm asking mainly on your opinion on all of them, but
Yeah.
the next
Okay.
three.
Go ahead, because I'm about to tell you. Google, which like developed 1996 through 1998, which what we heard about it through 1996.
So you could say trend wise that a lot of people was using Google.
So a lot of people was using Bing.
Or
Yahoo.
wait, that could be
Well, no, because I can tell you literally from the beginning of, well, from after Rodney King, from 1991 all the way into now. Cause like I was born in 1985, but I'm technically a 90's baby. So my life happened in the 90's. My youth happened in the 90's. My education happened in the 90's.
we gotta get going.
Okay, so from we left off from Rodney King from 1991. Fast forward to like 96, 97. What started becoming big was social media.
Mm.
So prior to 1996, all the things that was developing like Yahoo, AOL, which AOL was a major component for everything else. IBM was like the birth. IBM gave birth to AOL. AOL gave birth to Yahoo. Yahoo gave birth to Google. Those stages matter because that literally was how everything was starting to be open. All of these like email, avenues. But
Okay, can you read the next ones and then just answer how you you would answer, and I can just listen back to it because I gotta go put on my shoulder shoes.
what were some? Okay, wait. Which ones we on now? Number three.
Say the question out loud and then answer.
I'm saying we're on number three, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think was the most influential celebrity in athletics? Their responses. Their response, then my response. Oh, okay. So Michael Jordan for sure was like top for his like basketball. Allen Iverson, Kobe, and then football. Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders for sure. And then who else in football was top? Well, he wasn't top, but OJ Simpson. Because he started something too. OJ started a whole different thing that outside of sports is what he became known for. But he was an athlete that was very good. And then he became known for one of the biggest cases in 1990's pop culture, whatever the case may be. But those people literally was like the major major keys throughout like athletic history. They really made history for real. And Shaq was big. He was a big athlete. And no, what's his name? What is his name? What is his name? What is his name? Hold on. I cannot think of this man's name because he was very popular. Pamela Anderson's boyfriend. I don't even know. It's coming to me. That is not